And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez, and we've got a really good show for you tonight. In just a little bit, we're going to hear from Woodcrest Christian cross-country runner Eyan Turk. He is your back-to-back CIF state champion in Division 5. But not only Division 5, he had the fastest time, period, at the CIF state meet. Faster than D1, 2, 3, 4, fastest time period. Also set the Division 5 state record. So we're going to talk to Eyan in our second segment. We're also going to break down RCC football's crazy playoff win against San Diego Mesa. They were trailing 30-0 halfway through the third quarter, and they scored 37 straight points. In fact, it should have been 43 straight points to win and advance to the Southern California Championship game against Mount Sac. So we were going to hear from head coach Tom Kraft and quarterback Brady Jones from Vista Murrieta High School, trying to get the Tigers back to the state finals and also win back-to-back state championships. So we'll have that a little bit later as well. But right now we're talking some high school football. We had one team from the Inland Sports Show coverage area win a CIF Southern Section title and advance to the state playoffs. And that would be my guy, Oscar McBride and Murrieta Mesa, defeating Glendora by a score of 17-7 at Citrus College this past Saturday night for the D6 championship, the first CIF football title for the Rams in school history. And now they go on to the state playoffs, and they will hit the road for Bakersfield in the upcoming round, as Coach McBride got the championship plaque from Rich Imbriani, the AD at Cajon High School. Man, it has been an emotional season for the Murrieta Mesa Rams. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for that program, and for them to win the championship was just unbelievable for head coach Oscar McBride and his guys. So congratulations to Murrieta Mesa on that Division 6 title. But the job is not done yet. We just alluded to it. They're in the state playoffs. They're going to go on the road in the opening round for the Southern California Championship. And they're going to play in Bakersfield, taking on the Frontier Titans, Valley champion in Division 1 AA up there, or 1A, I should say. And, this is going to be a great matchup. Murrieta Mesa playing them really good football. They've gone through a lot of injuries this season. They're finally, for the most part, pretty healthy, as we're about to hear from head coach Oscar McBride about their season. And, they've had a lot of injuries, a lot of younger players getting significant playing time, and they've stepped up. They've stepped up in a big way, and they're going to be pretty good for the next couple of years with, like I said, a lot of younger players getting big-time snaps, seeing significant minutes, and we'll see if they can keep things going and make that charge towards a state championship playing on the road this Friday night at Frontier High School in Bakersfield for the Southern California Championship. Let's see, I just had the brackets open. I think it was 3AA. Yeah, Division 3AA SoCal Regional this Friday night. And I used to cover Frontier. In fact, I used to live less than 2 miles, like 1.5 miles from Frontier High School when I was the sports anchor for the ABC TV station up there. So I knew Frontier very, very well, but that was like 14 years ago now. Man, time flies, so it's been a while now, but I used to cover Frontier. Now I got Oscar McBride and my guys at Murrieta Mesa trying to bring home a Southern California title and get one step closer to a state championship. And as I mentioned, Coach McBride, you're about to hear his interview. Man, we talked about everything. It's been a trying season, an emotional season for the Murrieta Mesa Rams. So for them to win the championship, it meant a lot to them in a lot of different ways. And if you don't know, Oscar McBride played for the University of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, under legendary head coach Lou Holtz. And as you're about to hear, man, a lot of what he does now with Murrieta Mesa and the way he just pours into his players comes from Coach Holtz, one of the all-time greats. So here's our interview with Murrieta Mesa head coach Oscar McBride. Inland Sports. Now joining us here on the Inland Sports Show, he is a CIF champion. It is the head coach of your Murrieta Mesa Rams, Oscar McBride. And Coach, man, how does it feel? I mean, you won the league title in the Big West, and then you get to CIF, and Division 6 is tough. A lot of good teams out there. But we can see with the picture behind you, man, you guys rose held that trophy high, that plaque on Saturday night. How does it feel to be a CIF champion?
It's outstanding. We've been working really hard. In truth, we're probably a couple years ahead of schedule. The kids have bought in, the coaches have bought in, and it's just really good to see the hard work pay off. As a head coach, you always want to see your guys have success, and it was really sweet to see them go out and perform as well as they did. So I'm stoked.
Coach, you guys play a really tough non-league schedule. So before you even got to Big West play, did you learn some things about your team going up against some really good competition those first 5 games?
Man, let me tell you, we caught the injury bug, man. We were the COVID of injuries. We had my starting right tackle was a senior, torn labrum. My starting one of my starting inside linebackers torn labrum. We had guys out with ankles, with knees. I lost Julian Williams the first game of league with a lacerated kidney. One of my captains, he got injured on the very first play of the game against TV and played the whole game. And as everybody knows, he's the guy that recovered the fumble that allowed us to beat them, and then got home a couple hours later and collapsed in the parking lot and was rushed to the hospital. So what I found out through league and through the injuries and having to play those younger guys who maybe weren't quite ready. Anytime you go to play against Jeff Steinberg and Beaumont and you're playing backup JV guys, you're starting backup JV guys on Friday. It's really tough. But those guys are tough. They're resilient. And they love each other. And I think all that adversity, all those challenges really galvanized us. And winning the TV game the way we won it was kind of like the reality check that we needed to kind of start the ball rolling in terms of league play. So resilient group, young group. We start, I think, 6 or 7 seniors. Everybody else is a junior and a sophomore. So really resilient, tough young men. That's what I learned.
Coach, call me old-fashioned, but if you can run the football and play defense, you're going to win a lot of football games. I know Celestine's a great running back. You held Glendora to just 7 points in that championship game. Mm-hmm. Do you kind of, subscribe to that same feeling? Hey, if you can run the football, not turn it over, and play great defense, you're going to win some games.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a Lou Holtz disciple. Although I played tight end, he was never a guy who threw the football. He always said 3 things happen when you throw the football, and 2 of them are bad. From that perspective, our offensive line has done a great job. Archeon Celestine has been great. Royal Randolph, who's running back 1A, who had a great breakout freshman year, was our newcomer of the year on offense last year. He was out for 6 games with a broken finger. So we Archeon carried the bulk of the load. And the defense, what can I say about them? In my opinion, we've got one of the best defensive lines in the Valley. Obviously now in the state. Our defensive line coaches are outstanding. Coach Pontius, that I work with in my brief stint at Notre Dame, has done a phenomenal job as my coordinator, and he's like family. So everything kind of came together, as they do when you're kind of on the roll. And here we are, in the regional playoff game, state playoff game, riding a 9-0, a 9-game winning streak. So it's pretty sweet to see those things come together. Guys have been playing lights out, and they're so young. We're getting a lot of them back next year, so it's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah. Coach, it sounds like a lot of head coaches out there, they're worried about grade checks and keeping an eye on players' grades. It sounds like you were like waiting for doctor's reports. Like, are you healthy? Is it broken? Can you play? Are you out? What's going on?
We are a little bit different here. We know that CIF it's a 2.0 for kids to be able to be eligible. For us here, it's 2.5. Right now we're running about a 3.1 GPA for our team overall. So not really the thing that we're worried about. It's truly their health. Like, God, do you have a concussion? Going through concussion protocol, how's your finger? How's your shoulder? Is your hamstring okay? Cody Warren played limited minutes against St. Francis. He didn't play the whole first half. He was nursing a strained hamstring First play we put him inside. He gets a hatchet, forced fumble that's, Daniel Ritchie scooped and scored that put us ahead in that game. So at this point in the season, it's about keeping everybody healthy. It's a game of attrition. So we're in a good spot. I think for me and my staff and the kids, it's, the hate that you get, you're, been the little brother of Murrieta and, oh, you guys won JV D6. My thing is, look, we want to see our championship. We're in the state playoffs. We're the first school in Murrieta Valley Unified to go to a state playoff. These kids won league outright for the first time in school history. They want to see our championship for the first time in school history. It's unfortunate that the hate is real, but we're just going to keep playing.
Hey, you just play who's in front of you, right?
No doubt. We don't control that. We go out, we play. CIF does the seeding. Great. We're in 6. We're in 6 last year. We felt like we should have won it last year. And we were going to do our best to make sure that we made good on it this year. And the boys did. So super proud of them for that.
All right, Coach, let's talk about that Southern California regional game now. If you win that one, you would go to the state championship against the winner from the North. Full disclosure, I used to live probably a mile and a half from Frontier High School. I was the sports anchor for the ABC station in Bakersfield for 8 years. So I covered Frontier, and they had some good teams. So without giving away all your secrets, what do you know about this Frontier team? What's the kind of the game plan going in?
You know what? Frontier is a great football team. I mean, obviously they're playing in the regional playoff, state playoff game. They've got a big offensive line. They're physical. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. They play great defense. They play well on special teams. They're just a great football team. So for us to go up to Bakersfield in their environment at their home, it's going to take us playing a great football game. They're a really good football team.
Coach, I've heard from other coaches that, for the longest time, at least in the CIF Southern section, that, winning CIF, winning the section was like the goal at the end of the year. And it was hard to kind of regroup and get the guys focused again. And hey, listen, we got more football. We need to go chase a state championship. But I've heard from other coaches saying it was kind of hard. You win CIF, and that for many years that was it. That was the ultimate prize. But it's now you've got to get these guys focused again. The celebrating is over. You got more football. Sure. What's been practice like so far this week? Just trying to get these guys focused again.
We're a little bit different in our approach and our philosophy. We break our season down into little mini seasons, so, you have your off season, then we have 7-on-7 season, we have spring season, we have summer season, fall camp season, preseason, league season, playoff season, and now we're in state season. So what we do is we just focus on one game a week. We have a mantra, another 48, we're playing for another 48 minutes. And the kids have been really good about that. And every time we win, it's like, hey, congratulations, fellas, you earned another 48. And we're playing for another 48. So from our perspective, we're playing for the last 48 now, right? The last possible 48. And from my perspective, Pep, and from our team's perspective, these seniors were 0-10 as freshmen. 0-10. They scored 3 touchdowns as freshmen. They're now a 10-win team and a CIF champion. They want more. They want it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, the hate is real, man. So, okay, you guys are in a cupcake league. We win league. Oh, you guys won a JV CIF championship. We won a CIF championship. So from our perspective, in order to silence the critics, the best thing for us to do is just to be the best in the state. And that's the mindset the kids have. We've had 2 really good days of practice. I literally just got done uploading film. We're excited for the opportunity, and any chance to play football is a great chance. So we want to get out there and show everybody what we're made of. So that's kind of our, motivation, if you will. So it hasn't been hard at all.
All right, finally, Coach, you mentioned Lou Holtz a little bit earlier, go Fighting Irish. Has your phone been blowing up since winning CIF? Who has reached out to you just to say congratulations, good job, gosh. Go win it all?
Bryant Young, Jeff Burris, Aaron Taylor, Lake Dawson, Jeff Burris, all my teammates, Clint Johnson, Brian Hamilton, all these guys, a couple of Hall of Famers, college Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer, Bertrand Berry, Corey Minor, who just got the job at Bishop
Oh
Almonte, going to
yeah.
do a phenomenal job there. Um, just it's Coach Holtz, a couple of guys I served with on his foundation, Holtz's Heroes. It's a family. You always want to see your brothers do well. So really cool for me to see the posts and social media and get the text messages to kind of keep me going. That's awesome.
Coach, one quick follow-up question. I don't know if we've talked before, and I don't know if I've asked you this, but like even when you were playing, did you always know in the back of your mind, like, hey, I want to be a head coach somewhere, even if it's at the high school level because maybe high school coaches really have a close connection with their guys. But
Yeah.
did you ever think, hey, I want to be, or were you like, man, when I'm done playing, I'm going to, I don't know, go into real estate or something?
Well, actually, I did.
Did you?
I spent about 15 years as an investment banker, as a wholesale banker, working with the street. And when the market crashed in 2007, I ended up at J. Sarah working under Jim Hardigan. I actually applied for the freshman head coaching job, and I came in. He's like, "Well, I already hired somebody for the freshman job. You think you can coach offensive line on varsity?" And I'm thinking, I played for Coach Moore at Notre Dame. Yeah, I can coach the offensive line. So cut my teeth at J. Sarah in Trinity League at the very beginning when J. Sarah was just starting out in 2008, and learned a lot. Learned a lot of do's and don'ts, and kind of worked on my craft and skill. It kind of came back everything I was taught by Coach Moore and Coach Holtz. And Skip Holtz has done a great job in the USFL, was my tight ends receivers coach, and just built on that. So it was kind of like out of necessity. I needed something to do, and it kind of made sense. And I was like, well, wait a minute. If football isn't market driven, sports doesn't depend on the market being solid. People are always going to want to, either play sports or go to a game. So I came in and I fell in love with it, man, and I haven't looked back since. So that's kind of my story, from coaching youth football to coaching high school in 2008, and kind of been at it ever since.
No, I love that because some
That was-
coaches are like, oh yeah, well, I knew in the back of my mind, even when I was in high school, that I was gonna be coaching one day, and I wanted to go back to my alma mater. No. I love the other stories too, though. Like you, man, you were probably making good money doing real estate, and you're like, well,
Great
what am I
money,
gonna do?
man. I took a 90% pay cut to come to JC. It was awful, Pep. It was awful. It was awful. But like I said, I learned a lot. And what I learned, probably the most important thing I learned from that experience is that relationships are so very important, and that's one of those things that is different about our program. A lot of programs talk about wins and losses, and, Mesa has traditionally been a winning program. We built our program on the same three tenets that Coach Holtz built Notre Dame on, which is trust, love, and commitment. We can't build a program on wins and losses. Wins and losses come and go, but your trust, your love, and your commitment to the process and to your teammates, to your coaches, to your team family, that lasts forever. Coach Holtz would always say, you can be successful or you can be significant. Success is finite. If you're a person of significance, if you can ask yourself the question, if I wasn't there, would I be missed? And those are the things that we're teaching our players. And they're going out and they're playing for each other. They're not playing for me. They're not playing for Murrieta Mesa. They're playing for each other. And that's kind of how we go about our business, man. So it's worked for us. We're not going to change it. We'll just keep grinding away, and chips will fall where they may, man.
Well, I'm sure your bank account misses the old days, but a CIF championship,
Oh, boy.
priceless, right?
Yeah, no doubt. That's some significance, man. I missed the success, though, Pep. I ain't gonna lie, man. The financial success was great, but this is something that lasts forever. It's been great. I've coached a lot of places. From J. Sarah to Servite to Olu to Capo Valley to Soro. A lot of my players from all those places have reached out. Obviously, they're now, dads and husbands, and it's just really cool to get text messages from Shane Coleman from Tesoro, who went and played at San Diego State. Michael Mackesy, who was a stud at Tesoro, reached out. It's just really cool to have players who still follow and still reach out. That just kind of lets me know there's a little bit of success in there, but there's also some significance, and that means a lot to me. So I'm good with it.
And that last, I mean, obviously, if they're still reaching out to you after all these years,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
that's
It's
impactful.
awesome, man. Like I always tell my teams, one day when you're a dad, when you're a husband, you'll look back, you'll tell your son, hey, I had this one coach. His name was Coach Mack. He was wild, and he told me some things that I'm going to share with you. That is kind of how I think, it's not about, I don't remember the scores of games. I might remember that we won. I don't remember the score, but I remember what it was like with my teammates. I remember the locker room. I remember what crazy stuff we did in practice or what coaches said, like I remember that stuff, you know what I mean? So we try to be coaches of significance, not necessarily just for success. So that's our mantra, man, and we're sticking to it.
That is awesome. Well, that is Oscar McBride, the head coach of the Murrieta Mesa Rams, your CIF Southern Section Division 6 champion, now going to the SoCal Championship game on the road at Frontier in Bakersfield. Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. I love our conversations. Yes. Go get them on Friday night. Beat the Titans and punch your ticket to the finals.
Awesome. Thanks, Pep. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, man.
You got it. That's Coach McBride here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. Well, that is the one and only Oscar McBride, the head football coach for Murrieta Mesa, CIF champion in Division 6 here in the Southern Section, now playing in the SoCal Regional on the road at Frontier in Bakersfield on Friday in Division 3 AA. That's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. Best of luck to the Rams. And again, the Rams, the only team in the Inland Empire, in the Inland Sports Show coverage area, playing now in the state playoffs. And a big thanks to Coach McBride for that interview. Full disclosure, I was late for the interview. I kept pushing it back a little bit. Traffic was unbearable, and he was so awesome to be patient with me and still do the interview. And man, I don't know how long that interview was, maybe 16, 17 minutes. So he actually even stayed a little bit longer than I thought I was going to keep him. So thank you so much, Coach McBride. I really appreciate it. Such a great guy. And again, really enjoyed our conversation here on the Inland Sports Show. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on the show. When we come back, we still have to get to RCC football. The Tigers looking to defend their state championship. They are one game away from the state finals. And Woodcrest Christian cross-country runner Eyan Turk, your CIF state champion in Division 5. Eyan is next here on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Want to know the best type of recovery for athletes at zero cost? I'm talking about sleep, of course. As an athlete, good sleep can help you reduce your risk of injury, improve your strength and power output, as well as improve your overall work capacity. It also helps you bounce back quickly from the stress of competition. As a student, adequate sleep can help boost your mood, cognition, productivity, and relationships. Bottom line, don't sleep on sleep. Boost man.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. If you're just tuning in, give this video a like and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. You can also find us on Instagram. We also on Facebook a little bit and Twitter, aka X, of course. So you can find us there. All right, now we're talking some cross country. We just had the CIF state meet up in the Fresno area, and Woodcrest Christian's Eyan Turk, for the second consecutive season, is your CIF Division 5 champion. In fact, he broke the Division 5 state meet record, and also he had the fastest time of the day, period, regardless of the division size. And now Eyan will be going to the national championships. He is also going to be running for the University of Kentucky Wildcats in his future as well. We had a chance to talk to Eyan about going back-to-back state champion in boys cross country. He is Woodcrest Christian royalty. It is Eyan Turk right now on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, fresh off a CIF Division 5 state champion again, 2 years in a row. It is the great Eyan Turk from Woodcrest Christian High School. And Eyan, listen, congratulations on your second consecutive Division 5 title. But what really jumped out at me was that you had the fastest time, period. Division 1, Division 2. You had the fastest time. What did that mean to you to have the fastest time at the state meet?
To me, it's still floating around my head. It's a major shock to me. If you would have told me a week before the meet that I was not only going to be back-to-back state champion, breaking the Division 5 record as well, but also having the fastest time of the day, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have thought you hit your head or something.
Well, you shattered that 15-minute mark. I mean, I had it written down somewhere around here. I think it was like 14:35. Correct me if I'm wrong. What was your time?
14:32. I think it was like 14:32 and a half.
So when you cross the finish line and you see your time, what's going through your mind? Are you thinking, there's no way? How did this happen? Like, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, I didn't think much of the time at the moment. When I first crossed, it kind of hit me a little after when I finally got to see my family. I was more just joyful of the win that I had at that time. And then when I heard like the time I had, it kind of just blew my mind. I'm like, wow. Especially when I was told like what my final mile was, the 4:27. I was just blown away.
So Eyan, let's rewind a couple months. Going into your senior season at Woodcrest, yeah. What was the goals? I mean, obviously you wanted to repeat, I'm sure, as the Division 5 state champion, but did you want to have the Division 5 state record? Did you want to have the best time period at the state meet? Like, what was your goals going into the season?
So my goal at state was just not only winning it, but also breaking the Division 5 record, but having the fastest time of the day. I never had that in mind. I thought that was going to be something like either Eli Fitzyoung or Noonan was going to have. So it was definitely a major bonus to me. But making NXN was definitely, which I did, which praise the Lord on that one, was definitely also one of my goals as well. Kind of also, I'd say I didn't get there, but it is what it is. Being a little deeper into the 13, like 1340, maybe 1330s. But I think the only major race I had that one for was kind of Woodbridge.
So Eyan, so you mentioned, nationals coming up as well. Now that you've qualified, what are your goals now as you get ready for nationals?
For nationals, I'm mostly looking to have fun with it. It's going to be a great way to go out there and compete on something that I haven't ran in. Kind of like, I'm aware of how it's going to be kind of like raining. It's going to be kind of like a mud bath when I go out to run up in Oregon. So to me, it's going to be a lot of fun, especially with a lot of other high-end competition kids who have worked really hard to earn their way there, and each and every single one of them there has deserved it. Really proud for them. But in terms of gold, I'm looking to be one of the top finishers.
So Eyan, at this point, obviously you've already had a hugely successful season. Going to nationals, is that just kind of the icing on the cake? Is there no pressure like, hey, I already won back-to-back state titles. I broke the record. I had the fastest time. No pressure. This is just going to be fun now.
A little, but also being like having the number one time for California. There's a little pressure on that going there in some given reasons, but it's also kind of like at the same time not much of a no pressure because it's like now that I'm here, just go out there, go have fun with it, and ultimately walk away just saying I gave it my all that day, and then not one other thing I would have changed. Kind of like how I did at state this past weekend. So the bottom line for this is kind of just go out there and have fun and lay it all out on the field and show them just show everyone what I can do.
Eyan, I am curious because, the CIF state meet lined up with the same week of Thanksgiving. So how did that kind of change your Thanksgiving plans for yourself and your family? Did you travel on Thanksgiving? Did you not get to eat any turkey, or you eat very light? I mean, how does that change the way you prepared for the state meet?
Well, typically our state meets happen every Saturday of the same weekend as Thanksgiving, but yeah, normally we don't do our traditional Thanksgiving dinner. We kind of do something different. We'll do something like Ponzers for our Thanksgiving dinner instead. And then when we eat like our turkey and all that just Thanksgiving good stuff, we normally do that the Sunday when we come back from state. But the only traveling we really did was just the 3-4 hour long drive up to Fresno.
So you did have your Thanksgiving dinner. It was just delayed a couple days until Sunday, until the race was over.
Yeah, pretty much like a nice celebratory dinner. Kind of a little like a thankfulness for the weekend.
That's awesome. Eyan, I am curious too. How long have you been running, and how did you first get started? Did you have a parent, a sibling, or how did you get introduced to the sport of cross country?
I've been probably running for like 9 years or so, but how I got introduced, it was kind of, I've always been like a pretty active child, so like it was kind of like trying to find something for me to do, and I guess my dad found like a track club for me to do because I guess I got a little interested in it, and one of those I guess that I say too is, about the runner Prefontaine, right? Yeah. So I actually got to see the movie Without Limits at that time, and it was kind of just a huge inspiration seeing how incredible of a runner Prefontaine was, and for me it was kind of like I want to try to follow in those footsteps and become a runner like him. And ever since, it's just been striving to do so.
Man, you are well on your way and winning those back-to-back state titles. I think, gosh, what was it? There's only two other, I think, runners in the history of the CIF state meet that went back-to-back. Was it Caleb Hall, and who was the other one?
Caleb Hall and
there was another one. It was another big name. Jacob Webb, maybe? I don't know. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. I probably have to go look it up too.
Yeah, but that was a very short list. I mean, you are in some elite company, and I know that you're going to be running for the University of Kentucky, right? The Wildcats?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm really looking forward to that.
So why did you pick Kentucky? What was it about the school, the cross-country program? I assume you're going to do maybe distance on the track team as well. Like, what was it about the Wildcats that made you want to sign with them?
A lot of it had to do with team environment, like being out there to go visit the place. I thought it was a really nice place. To me, I felt really safe. The area, the vibe there just felt like myself. Being able to meet the team, there's some there's quite the talent there of kids like Collins and Ed Burr. And it's just a really young team that I feel like has amazing potential. And just being out there and talking with them, they made me feel very included. And it kind of felt like at times, like I was like already a part of that team. And even the coaches, amazing coaches, who, like Coach Haken, who are not only really hard to work to make me a better version of myself, but also coaches who make me feel like that I can be my own self. And I really enjoyed that. And it makes me feel like I'm going to enjoy every last second at Kentucky around these incredible coaches and athletes.
That's awesome. It sounds like the perfect fit for you, Eyan. And finally, I am assuming that you're back at Woodcrest Christian this week. And what was the response like when you went back to campus, like from your classmates and from your teachers, coming off that championship?
Yeah, everyone was really happy about it. Definitely, there was a lot of people congratulating me. And there was also others, like our basketball team they were at a tournament during that day too. So like while they were waiting for two of the teams to play, and they were like on live results, like updating every like 30 seconds or so, kind of just seeing like where I'm at compared to everyone else. And they were all really hyped. One thing about me is like that I TA for the office. So when I came in there, my third period of TA, it was just one big congrats to everyone. Everyone was really happy for me. Just a bunch of very supportive friends in an overall very supportive school. And I'm really grateful to be there.
Well, Eyan, you're a celebrity now at Woodcrest Christian, man. You are the man. Back-to-back state champion. You got nationals coming up. And listen, man, congratulations on the CIF state title in Division 5 and posting the record and the best time, period, across the board at the CIF state meet. That is Woodcrest Christian High School's Eyan Turk here on the Inland Sports Show. Congratulations, Eyan.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Inland Sports. All right, congratulations to Eyan Turk, CIF champion again at the state meet. That'll take us into another commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to recap that crazy RCC victory against San Diego Mesa in the Southern California Semifinals. Maybe the greatest comeback win I have ever seen with my own eyes. And we'll also preview the upcoming game against Mount Sac for the Southern California title. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show. We'll be back right after this. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
Want to know the best type of recovery for athletes at zero cost? I'm talking about sleep, of course. As an athlete, good sleep can help you reduce your risk of injury, improve your strength and power output, as well as improve your overall work capacity. It also helps you bounce back quickly from the stress of competition. As a student, adequate sleep can help boost your mood, cognition, productivity, and relationships. Bottom line, don't sleep on sleep. Boost man.
I'm exhausted on this Monday morning and still recovering after Sunday night football. I was all excited for that big Blizzard Bowl, right? You know, the blizzard, all snow in Buffalo. I'm a 49ers guy. I'm like, you know what? They're going to go in there. They're going to shock the world and turn things around. But Patrick, you know me by now. I'm also a realist. You know, I'll call a spade a spade. The 49ers are just not a good team. My 49ers stink. I know they've got the injuries piling up, but I am off the Kyle Shanahan bandwagon. I think they need a new head coach. I think they need to fix that defense. And they were just freaking embarrassed on Sunday Night Football. They couldn't tackle. They're turning the ball over. So it was a big win for Buffalo. Yes, I like the novelty of playing in a snow game. And it was snowing hard, man. But yeah, 35-10. The 49ers simply did not show up in that game.
I thought, the 49ers may have an advantage here. McCaffrey, Debo, running the ball I knew was going to be important. But I hate to bring it down to just one player, but it seems like, one player on defense who's not there that kind of makes the whole defense work is Bosa. And then one player on offense who kind of makes the whole team work is McCaffrey. And once, unfortunately, it looks like he did blow out his knee or whatever. Once he does seem to make the offense go for some reason. You don't want to put it on one guy. It's a team sport. But for some reason, it seems to make the mojo work.
Man, you are right. They miss Bosa big time on defense. They need him up there disrupting the quarterback. And on offense, Christian McCaffrey was actually off to a great start in that game. And I even told my wife, I'm like, if I was the 49ers, I would run the ball every single play because they're not going to stop him. It's also a great time of the year for college football as well. We are almost to the bowl season. We just had rivalry week and it was nuts. Now we've got the conference championship games, specifically in the Big Ten. Ohio State will not be playing for the Big Ten title against the Oregon Ducks because Michigan found a way to beat the Buckeyes again. 4 years in a row now for the Blue, 13-10 against the Buckeyes. So now Oregon will play Penn State for that Big Ten title. First year for the Ducks in the Big Ten, and they've got a shot to finish the season number one in the country and Big Ten champions.
So we had another wild weekend in college football like we've been having the last few weeks. But perhaps this weekend was the wildest.
Inland Sports. Hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. You can check it out. He's a big sports fan, and we love talking NFL and college football a lot, especially this time of the year, man. Some big, important games going on. Speaking of big, important games and football, RCC coming off a dramatic win in the Southern California Semifinals against San Diego Mesa. It's our big boost play of the week. Inland Sports. If you guys missed it on Riverside TV, it was one of the best games ever. One of the biggest comeback victories, period, as RCC was trailing by a score of 30-0 midway through the third quarter. I mean, they were doing nothing on offense, and all of a sudden they just came to life. They scored 37 unanswered. Should have been 43 because they had a pick six at the end of the game. I think they said Assad Chapman stepped out of bounds as he's running back the pick six as time expired. But regardless, 37-30, 43-30, Either way, RCC with a comeback for the ages to beat San Diego Mesa, and it's our big boost play of the week to advance to the Southern California Finals against Mount Sac. And if you missed the game on Riverside TV, here's some of the highlights of that dramatic comeback. Two receivers to the left, none to the right. Splitting out is Davis in the flat. He's going to shove his way into the paint for another San Diego Mesa touchdown. The route continues here for the Olympians. 23-0, and the extra point is coming up. The snap, Petrick, the kick, it's up, and it is all good. So that lead is now 30-0, San Diego Mesa. Second from the doorstep, McMaster's over the pile, and no doubt about it, RCC finally gets on the scoreboard on the McMaster's touchdown here in the third quarter. So they're going to ring the bell down there on the sidelines for the first time this afternoon. Good job by McMasters. He had 4 touchdowns in that first meeting against the Olympians. First Tiger to find the end zone this afternoon. The extra point coming up. Shepherd, but it's going to be first and goal for RCC. So all of a sudden, it's like the Tigers flipped the switch and they figured everything out.
Heck, they could be right back into this ball game if they could score here.
First and goal, the handoff to McMasters, and he is in for the touchdown. McMasters with his second score of the afternoon, and RCC begins chipping away at that San Diego Mesa lead. Did you just get the first down? And
yes.
Now they're going to throw. Jones. Dominic Cox, the catch. Cox into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. RCC back on the board here in the fourth quarter, and they're going to make this a one-score game. Wow! McMasters on the right side of Jones. The handoff. McMasters and in for the touchdown! McMasters, his third score of the game, and the Tigers have stormed back within one. 43 seconds to go. First down for RCC from the 36. Jones, delayed handoff to Monroe, right up the middle. Monroe, big run across the 50. Monroe bounces to the outside. Monroe still on his feet. Monroe, is he in? He's going to be down at the goal line. I thought it was going to be a walk-off shot. 30 seconds on the clock. First and goal for RCC from the 3. Marquise Monroe, the hero that we needed. The handoff to Pearson. Pearson still on his feet. In for the touchdown. RCC grabs the lead for the first time today. Down by 30. The Tigers are in front.
Wow!
Leatherwood to his left, being chased. It is intercepted! Intercepted by Chapman, and he goes back to the house! That is how this game ends! Ashad Chapman with the walk-off pick 6 for the RCC Tigers. Are you serious? RCC is moving on to the semifinals, winning 43-30, the final score. Inland Sports.
We had a game like that against Mount Sac in the first round of the regionals. We had a game like that the year before against Cerritos, where we were behind 37-7 at half. We're capable of doing this because of our no huddle and sense of urgency. We just didn't have a rhythm in the first half. We made some bad decisions, and they did a good job. They came to play, and I got to give them a lot of credit for being ready to play.
You mentioned 2 key words in your post-game huddle there: adversity and resiliency. Talk about how your team was able to overcome that adversity.
You know, that's something that starts in practice, and we worked them really hard in practice. They were flat. We had a lot of time off. It's hard to beat a team a second time. We've had teams that we've beaten, and we've beaten them the second time, like Ventura in a regional final. We lost to Golden West one year, and then we came back and beat them in the SoCal Championship. We've done those type of things, and for us to beat this team is a good accomplishment. So it was more of a mental game this week, more than anything. We tried to get their attention, and we didn't talk to them at halftime. I had some few choice words with them, and they came out and got it together.
Defensively, did you guys think you had to do something differently than you did 3 weeks ago?
For him, for their quarterback, he's a big, tall guy. We have 2 all-league defensive ends screaming off the edge. We needed to get more pressure up in the middle so he couldn't scramble for a draw or step up and find somebody, and we were able to do that and neutralize that in the second half.
Was it about Brady finding a rhythm today?
Yeah, we were trying to get first downs. He was taking a lot of shots, and a lot of our pass offenses, we have some shots built into intermediate and shallow routes, and he kept trying to take those shots. And, they got a lot of calls when they took shots. We weren't getting any calls, so we worked our way back in the game in the second half with the intermediate stuff, and then we took the high shot throws when we had to.
I don't know what to say. It was bleak, man. Like get trailing 30-0 in the third quarter. What was that sense that you guys just never gave up? Like you guys felt like in the back of your mind, hey, we're still in this. We're still a good football team. Like, where do you think that came from?
Honestly, it's just from our work ethic all year. Just practices. Even this week, some of these practices we're having, it's just really just not giving up, and it's more mental than physical. But once we saw halftime, we're coming in. We just have to finish the game out. We got to keep scrapping, fighting until the end.
And now this team has a chance to win another Southern California championship. I guess when you're the quarterback at RCC, that's always the goal, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Every year we're just trying to win.
And I don't know if there's ways to find momentum or confidence coming out of this game. I don't know if it's relief. I mean, how do you feel coming out of this game going on to the next round now?
This game, it's behind us, but honestly, it's just next game. Next game's a new game. We got a new week ahead of us. We're starting square one again.
And Coach said he didn't say a whole lot at halftime. He said he had a couple choice words for you guys, and then didn't say a whole lot. Did you guys just kind of look internally, or did you talk to some of your receivers, or what? Or your O-line?
Honestly, he told the coaches get out the locker room. It was more like, the coaches can only do so much. It's up to us at this point. We split up offense, defense, and we, just came together, encouraging each other, not really trying to tear each other down. We're really just building each other up in there.
Congrats to RCC on advancing, and now they will play Mount Sac for the Southern California Championship. Last year's game on the road at Mount Sac in the playoffs was an instant classic. It was crazy, back and forth. No lead was safe. RCC obviously won that game last year and went on to win the state championship. So we'll see if the Tigers can defend their state title, but they have to get past the Mounties of Mount Sac coming up this Saturday on the road. All right, big thanks to our guest, Eyan Turk from Woodcrest Christian, cross-country runner, state champion, and, of course, Murrieta Mesa football coach Oscar McBride, D6 CIF Southern Section champion, and now in the SoCal Regionals in Division III AA, playing up on the road in Bakersfield at Frontier High School. That'll do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Pep Fernandez. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching tonight. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.